What's up, guys? Welcome to Real Life Bodybuilding. My name is Jeremy Fox and this is Tyler Wilson, and we're going to go over a few questions today and touch on a few topics that's been going on the last couple of weeks. So where do you want to start?
You can start with kind of a recap of some things that have gone on. The Tampa Pro happened. Hunter Labrada won.
Ian took second.
Yep. Dwayne Walker took third.
Dark horse.
Yeah, and he's competing in New York, in Tampa, the Tampa bubble, bodybuilding bubble. But no, he looked really good. He doesn't have like outstanding legs like Ian and Hunter did, especially hamstrings. Yeah. So when he just turned to the side and from the rear, it was just, he got beat pretty severely. I mean, he could have probably beat Ian, I'd say, and no one would have complained about it, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's a bodybuilding show. Everyone has their opinions, obviously.
Just due to Ian's tan and him being flat.
Yeah.
Other than that, it would have, I mean, comparing the two bodybuilders together, it's not a problem. Ian would definitely beat him. Like,
yeah,
at both of their best, he would win. And and him and Hunter would be a lot closer, obviously.
Very, yeah, for sure.
I'm not sure who actually would win if they were both 100%. Just because the lower body of Hunter helps a lot, but
I'd say if Ian came in, Ian just needs to, some of his posing is super. It just needs tweaks. It doesn't look like he's comfortable in a lot of poses.
His front shots, his front double, he looked like his lats were really narrow.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that.
Just, I don't know, posing shouldn't really be something that you don't need to hammer it into the ground, like practice all your routine and all that. I mean, you do to an extent, but your mandatories should not be like looked at as an afterthought at all.
That's what Hunter said. He said he focused more on the mandatories versus the routine.
That's what I do every prep. I'm like, yeah, I do a routine and it's cool and all, but the mandatories are what is really the bread and butter.
What's judged.
Yeah. So, what other like news bodybuilding wise? So we got the New York Pro coming up in
a couple weeks, isn't it?
Yeah. So they moved that to Tampa. Then we have the Chicago Pro in like 10 or 11 weeks. Bodybuilding wise, I mean, it's cool that Fuad's going to be trying to get on stage in about 10 weeks. It'll be really nice to see James come in big.
He's, what, 8 weeks out now?
He's about 9 weeks out and about 291.
Also got the Boston show.
Yeah.
I don't know
he's doing Spain.
Okay. So there's what, 4 shows?
He's doing Spain and then the British, I think.
The Grand Prix?
Yeah, Fuad's doing Boston.
Okay. I'm excited to see him.
So am I. I am. It'll be really interesting to see what all comes back. Other than that, I mean, there's not really much to speak on. No one's done anything this entire year.
How's your training been?
Training's been good. Actually, it's been. I've kind of been in somewhat of a slump. I just got super not hungry again. And it's just been killing me the past few weeks, and that just affects training. Sleep has been off, and that's been affecting training, but I think I've gotten it under control. Had to make some tweaks.
You're to the point where now everything affects your meal timing, and then that affects if you can get your meals in or not.
Yeah. So it was kind of to the point where training was being moved too late in the day for me to. Meals were fine. It was like I could get all the meals in. But then it was like I'm eating so much food that training that late in the day, I was so full and I'm so tired by the time I have that much food in my body that like you don't even want to train. And then training that late, it also messes up the sleep, and then that messes up the entire next day.
Because you're stemmed by the time you go home,
and stemmed isn't even like a good thing because I don't even take like anything crazy stimulated caffeine wise, but it's still like I have to like calm down after a workout to an extent.
Like, your adrenaline's up.
Yeah. So it's like I just can't like go home, eat my post meal, and go like straight to bed. It's like I have to like wind down. I couldn't prep.
It's because I'm getting up at 4:45 or 5 in the morning to go do fasted cardio. So I'm ready to go. I can go to bed like at 3 p.m. if I really wanted to. I'm always tired.
Yeah, but training's definitely. Yesterday was probably one of my best training sessions I've had since all the quarantine has been going on. My back is fried, so that's good. But yeah, I think I'm getting into a little bit of a groove. We have about 4 weeks left of this true off season, then clean out a little bit. Clean up the diet a little, not clean up the diet a little bit.
Pull back a little.
Reduce the diet a little bit.
I want to touch on that since we never really go into detail on your diet.
I'm excited to see just like little changes for that, and then push back up again and probably start prep. So that'd be fun.
Yeah, since you're dying to jump on prep.
I wouldn't say dying, but I am excited to do it again, given I've been in an off season for a full year.
Mm-hmm. So you were 185 a year ago, right? You said 180-ish, 185, somewhere in there?
Well, last year I was in prep right now, or about to compete.
So you were in the 180s and you pulled down to like the low 170s for your shot.
This time last year, I was probably below 170.
Okay. And then this morning you sent me
214.
Yeah. So 30 pounds over what you were last year, but you were in prep last year.
Yeah.
You're obviously not in prep now, but your body composition doesn't look like the body fat's much different.
I started prep last year about 185, and now I'm...
So you're 30 pounds over that.
Yeah. So, and in better condition.
Yeah. You were in better condition.
I put a post up comparing this beginning of last prep to now, and it's definitely a big difference. So that's always good to look at, because I'm not good at like giving myself credit for looking any different or growing at all. I just feel like I look the same all the time.
I think the biggest compliment you take is, I'm starting to look like a bodybuilder. It's not even like your legs are big, your arms are big. It's like you're starting to look like a bodybuilder. You're like, oh, well, thanks.
Yeah, for sure.
But definitely can see huge improvements overall. Legs are dramatically different.
Yeah.
The sweep is like 2 to 3 inches wider, looks like, in the pictures.
The legs are definitely up a lot. And I think my upper body has just grown just like equally with it.
And your upper back and middle back, like rhomboid area, all through like...
It's definitely getting thicker, yeah.
Yeah, everything...
I used to just have the shape of my back.
More detail already.
Yeah.
And not even, like, we've not pulled body fat off yet, and you can already tell.
Yeah. It's almost like I wouldn't say getting leaner, but I'm not gaining fat, but I'm growing right now.
You're marinating in the 214.
Yeah. Because my weight won't really dip below 209. Like I could miss a meal or two and still it's not dipping below 209. And this last 4 weeks they'll be all spot on. So I'll be gaining this last 4 weeks before we.
So we've obviously implemented things for appetite. You're supposed to be doing cardio for that. Yeah, if you ever do it.
I haven't done cardio in probably over almost 2 months, and that's not even the fact that I don't want to do it. I don't mind cardio, especially when it's only 20 minutes a few times a week. But where I'm training has no AC, and I think I honestly have a sweating issue because I sweat really, really bad. I bet I'd lose about 6 pounds per workout if it's decently hot out. And it's
always 90 in the gym.
Tremendously hot this summer. But no, cardio does need to be implemented back in, and that'll help with hunger as well.
But we can also up the sodium. We were just talking about that like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So I always say a quarter teaspoon, which is about 400-ish milligrams of sodium.
Yeah.
Added on top of your food, which already has sodium in it, especially if you cook it and with seasonings and stuff. But I mean, even if you're getting 7 or 8 grams of sodium in a day, it's not gonna be a problem because your body's gonna regulate that out.
Yeah.
It's the times where you go 3,000 milligrams of sodium and then you go 15,000 and then your body's like, what the hell? And then it like shoots up in water weight.
Yeah.
And then obviously we upped your food again. So before it was 3 low days, 2 training days, and then 2 high days. So we obviously do carb cycling, and it works really well for pretty much everybody I deal with. But so he was doing 2 hot days. Now that those are 1,000 grams of carbs, they've always been around what, 800 to 1,000.
Yeah.
They worked up to 1,000, but also your fat is like pretty high on that day too. So those 2 days are 7,000 calories, 7,100.
Yeah.
And then your training days, 3 training days now, even though you're only training 2 of those.
Yeah.
One's an off day, but he's still eating a training day.
I just call it a normal day.
We'll call it a medium day.
Yeah.
So he's having 3 medium days, which are about 4,800, I think it was.
I'm gonna check it right now.
4,800.
Normal day is 4,800.
So what's your macros?
On the normal day?
Yeah.
345 protein.
That's every source of protein. That's trace and all.
Okay. 655 carb and 80 fat.
80 fat. So, and that's counting all fats from all meats and added fats too. A lot of people don't do it that way, but I just like to have like a control of like exactly everything he's eating.
Yeah.
And then your low day is
330 protein, 380 carb, 100 fat.
So almost 400 grams of carbs on low day, and then your high day is
370 protein, 1,000 carb, and 177 fat. Most of that's from the cheat.
Yeah, the last meal on that day is a cheat. Chick-fil-A.
It's a spicy sandwich, a normal sandwich, a large fry, and a large shake, and a cookie.
And a cookie. So that meal alone is 100 grams of fat, and it's high. It's 300 carbs, I think. Oh yeah, I got them separated.
That meal is 85 protein, 300 carb, and 110 fat.
Yeah, so
and
meal alone is huge.
That's a good one.
But it's easy to get that food down.
Yeah, it's not
and that was a problem you were having, was chicken and rice like 2 or 3 times a day. It was getting old, so to throw in salmon and throw in different things like before bed, now you're having Greek yogurt.
I'm good at eating chicken and rice, especially because like I don't know why, but I've always just been obsessed with teriyaki chicken. Like you can give me plain white jasmine rice as long as it has salt on it, and I can like make legit just teriyaki chicken. I can eat it all day. I don't know why. Like I don't know why, but it just always tastes good. Sometimes I'd rather eat a clean meal than a cheat meal at this point, but I mean, Chick-fil-A is not hard to eat, so.
It's finding foods that agree with your digestive system too.
Yeah.
If you were to go out and have pizza, it'd probably shut up for like 2 days.
Yeah, but pizza's rough.
Well, you're having both fats, well, really bad fats.
Dairy.
Polyunsaturated fats, dairy, and then, tons and tons of carbs too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a good thing to have, like, if you're going to have a ton of carbs, at least have the fats be semi-healthy.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's working for sure. The past week or 2 have been rough, just trying to get meals in, like missing meals here and there, just totally being like hating food, not even wanting to look at it, and that's messed up training. But also, I don't think it's really messed up training. I think the training messed up
because of the amount of food that you're eating before the training sessions.
And the sleep was messing up, which was affecting appetite and all that. It all adds up. And
people don't realize how important sleep is.
Yeah, no, they don't. That's why I put this thing on today, and it's going to start tracking it because I need to see.
I've tracked mine since May, so
I need to know like how much of good quality sleep I'm actually getting, because it's way more important than people think. People are just like, well, I get a few hours, and I'm like,
even naps. So if you can get an hour nap out of the middle of the day.
On days I don't work, I try to get a nap.
It's hard for people to do that, especially if they have regular 8 to 5 jobs and they're training and they're trying to do everything in a certain window. They don't really have that in between. And even if they did, they're already so high strung from their day that
that's what I've had a problem with lately. I've been working way more, so even on the days that I can take a nap, I can't fall asleep when I lay down for a nap. Yeah, I used to be able to but I've been working more, so my schedule's a little bit different, and it hasn't allowed me to like fall asleep. I'm just like, well, I could be doing this, I could be doing that, I could cook, and just like all these other things.
Your mind's in overdrive.
Yeah. And do a question?
Yeah.
I'll go first. This one's so Cam Fitness asked. I just spit, I think. Cam Fitness asked if when we are competing again. Well, he asked me, but when are you competing again?
I don't know.
Okay. Jeremy does not know when he's competing again. I'm
dotting down right now.
Yes, he is.
We'll see what I look like, but yeah.
I am competing again probably spring. I think we're in a good enough spot to do a prep around November-ish, December-ish, and then really, really crank in 1st of January. I think I'll be big enough, and that was kind of my only, the only thing I was really worried about, and I think I'll be big enough to start.
To be a solid light heavy.
Yeah. Yep. I don't want to be like that guy that's like, I'm coming for everybody, and all that bullshit. But like, I definitely feel some type of way about a lot of people and like local bodybuilding, whether it's competitors or just anything. It's I think my last show was kind of, I wouldn't say disrespected, but when they see the young guy, they're like, oh, he'll be back next year no matter what. So you're just like, okay. It's just, I felt disrespected in a way, I think. But that's fine. I mean, I'm definitely gonna dwarf and shit on whoever I was that 2019. Yeah, 2019. So it'll be fun. I'm really excited for it. Like I'm actually like really excited to do it. This is definitely the most consistent I've been at a true off season, having a coach the whole time. I mean, yeah, I'm ready to see what I'm all about, because I mean,
you're more locked in for this.
Yeah, for sure.
You're not winging anything. You literally follow a diet and a routine, so there's no like problem.
Yeah, so I'm ready to go again. I think it'll be a really smooth transition, because it won't even be like off season to prep. It'll just be like
food adjustment.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
So I'm hyped for that. I think I'll surprise myself again with what I look like. I never seem to think I look like what I do, and then and
you look at a picture and you're like, oh wow.
Yeah, so I'm ready for that for sure. But yeah, spring 2021, whether it's a Kentucky show or not, I don't know yet. We'll figure that out when the time comes. So yeah.
Cover that one.
Yeah.
I guess I'll pull this one. So one of my clients actually asked, he said, how is your breathing technique when doing squats? The reason he asked is he's noticed that if he takes his time during squats and holds his breath before going down and hold it through the entire movement and then breathe at the top, he can lift more weight with better form. But when doing his sets, it seems like it takes forever. So I guess in summary, he has to take longer rest periods, or he's not optimally lifting the weight that he.
No, I think he's saying that. I think he's more so saying that like the set is taking longer due to the breathing.
Because he has to stop and take a breath at the top.
Yeah.
So I don't really, honestly, when I squat, I just kind of comes naturally. Like I don't really know where my breathing is during it, but
I'm pretty. I wouldn't say want to say in tune with my breathing, but I definitely think about it before and probably during the set as well.
I mean, you tend to tighten up your core during the squat movement.
Suggest truly holding your breath. I won't say that. Doing more of like a small explosive breath right on the way up, right out of the hole, instead of like a like I feel like some people are just way too they hold it, and then just like air explodes. It's not even like a breath.
And then they lose their breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It needs to be more of just like a controlled, just like you're down, and then just be like, just like it doesn't need to be like a gasp.
Just a little release. Plus the thing about squat is you want to have core pressure. So obviously you're going to hold your breath on the way down to have pressure in the core, belt or not. I mean, you want to have, even if you're wearing a belt, you want your core to be pressed against the belt. Therefore it works. That's the point of it. But so on the way down, you'll hold your breath, and then like you said,
hold your breath. Especially once you get to be going heavier, don't hold your breath.
But on the way up, you can release.
Yeah. It doesn't need to be some like crazy like gas for that you need oxygen. Like it just needs to be just explode up, and like I feel like air just comes out of my mouth when I explode out of the set.
Yeah, like naturally. It kind of just like you're regulated in your head on how to.
Just try to control your breathing before the set first, and then that carries over into the set usually. Like if you're super conscious about like I tell my brother a lot when he trains with me a lot. sometimes like he'll be about to start a set and he'll be like, and I'm just like, yo, like, get your breathing right first, or else by the third rep you're just gonna be like, you're not gonna be able to like really know what you're doing.
And then make it second nature, so whenever you go to squat, you're not thinking so much about your breathing. You're thinking about controlling the weight and controlling the eccentric and concentric movement more than you're worried about how your breathing is. I mean, you'll self-learn it. I mean, it's like,
go watch Dusty Hanshaw do anything.
Watch any bodybuilder that's been squatting more than 2 years, and they've all got it figured out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just find what works for you. I mean, even if you have to do the bar or no weight at all, just kind of you can just go through the movements and just be like, okay, where does this feel good? Like, how does the breathing feel on this movement? And then add the weight, you know.
Yeah.
And then progressive overload, which I've got in your plan. So.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me go.
You can go ahead.
There's another one. Okay. Are S4 or the S4 eyesight issues blown out of proportion? You don't even know that one, do you?
I've never taken an S4.
Okay,
so.
I've taken S4. It's a SARM. It's basically one of the cutting SARMs. It definitely messes with your eyesight a little bit. Not like making it blurry, not doing anything like that. I found it was just
Andering.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the actual name for
it. Yeah.
Okay.
I noticed it was just like if I'm in a dark room and I go into a really bright room, it's going to take a little bit longer to adjust, and same thing as the opposite. Like if I was in like a super bright room and went to dark, it'll be like whoa. It was very noticeable for me, and I don't notice things like that very well. So I would say it's not blown out of proportion really, but I also can't say that it would happen to you if you did it, because I have no idea. But yeah, you might want to stop that.
Another thing is, I'm gonna let it run through.
Okay.
Another thing is on these SARMs and all these other alternatives to steroids.
Yeah.
They're tested at low amounts.
No, they're tested on really high amounts on rats.
But they're not the amounts that humans are actually taking to like so it might be tested at 1 milligram, but you might be taking 20 milligrams to get the effects that are stated on the bottle.
Right.
So I mean, it could vary a lot from just that regard.
Yeah.
So you might not get any side effects from 1 milligram, but 20 milligrams, you know, it might be worse than actually taking steroids.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you really don't know with them. A lot of them. But I mean, some people swear by them, so who are we to judge?
And anything taken orally like that, you know, it's going to be a lot more toxic to the liver versus something injectable.
Yep.
So ask.
Got all the clients.
I know, right? I need about 50 more. Good foods.
Fox Precision Nutrition for coaching.
I never shouted at that.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug that he did for me. Okay. So good foods or supplements for cardiovascular health and improvement. So
cardio.
Cardio for sure for cardiovascular health.
Any exercise.
Anything to get your heart rate up.
Yeah.
Any variance in your heart rate. So if you do like an interval top situation, your cardio is going to get better. Just consistent cardio over periods of time will help with cardiovascular health. Foods, I'll be honest, man, I don't really know right offhand. I could Google it and find out, but foods that help with cardiovascular health.
Cheerios, it says it on the box.
Oh, it's good for cholesterol, isn't it? Okay.
There you go, Cheerios.
Well, I hear that when you're happy, your cardio is better. So I like chocolate cake.
Oh yeah.
So maybe that's good for cardiovascular health. I don't know.
No, that's prep. Prep.
Supplements, Complete Health.
Complete Health by
Pro
supplements. Yeah.
Can you think of any more? I mean, general health supplements for cardiovascular health. Healthy fats help with heart health. Fish oil, even primrose oil, CLA, any kind of like healthy omega-3, 6, or non-fat, omega-7 fats. I'm trying to think. As far as natural supplements, I would go with that. There's also a SARM. Or no, actually, it's actually not a SARM. It's a PPAR agonist. I forget what. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's cardarine. GW501516 is one that's supposed to help with cardiovascular health. and endurance. So that would be something on the gray area that you could use. I've used that one as well. I didn't really see that big of a benefit from it.
I didn't notice anything.
But I mean, it might have been the brand. Who knows? We use the same brand, didn't we?
Probably.
So could be that.
Some people think that they're gonna see some like night and day difference when they're like getting on SARMs, or honestly getting on anything, or really using anything. Even when people get a new coach, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna change
everything's gonna change so much." Yeah,
and it's just usually you get a decent, like, the plan that's very similar to your old one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people just expect really odd things. Like, if there was a miracle pill, everyone would have
a magic diet pill that makes you lose all your body fat, and you don't have to really diet or do cardio or do anything for a long period of time.
Yeah,
it's all time based. It's a marathon.
What's our go-to meal to eat after a bodybuilding show?
Oh gosh,
everything.
You should save this for the very end.
I don't know what my favorite thing. It really depends on what you're craving. I mean, like,
and it's usually weird stuff. It's not typically what you would think.
It's like, there's usually just things that you crave all prep for no reason. Like, I remember I craved a lot.
I've got a funny one.
Outright bars, craved them all the time. So I just smashed a bunch of Outright bars after my last show.
Which is a natural protein bar, like a oatmeal and peanut butter base.
Yeah.
For the most part, most of them.
What's yours? What was your funny one, at least?
My first show, it wasn't food, it was coffee creamer. Sugar-free French vanilla coffee creamer. I just want to drink a whole entire container of coffee creamer. I don't know why. It's because I didn't use any artificial sweeteners hardly in my first prep, and I think just having that whole like sugar-free like thing, which is crazy to think I wanted something sugar-free after starving for 20 weeks.
I'm trying to think of something else I really craved last prep. I think I craved like Reese's a lot, and I never like loved Reese's before. It's just weird. It's a lot of weird stuff that you just like, that you never think what you would crave, and then all of a sudden you can't have it, and then that's what you crave.
Ask me in a few weeks, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
We had Yard House in Indianapolis at the show, and that was this past March 2019, and burger and fries with onion ring things, like the onion ring stack.
Yep.
And so me and my fiance went out for a post-show dinner, which was, had like a dessert platter as well. And it's funny because she was on her diet perfectly too, and I kind of ruined that for her and made her have a cheat meal that really wasn't planned. So on both my shows that were a week apart. So
yeah, I didn't do anything too crazy or like anything like fancy or anything after mine. I just went to burger and fries.
I would have paid $1,000 for a burger and fries after the show, probably.
What?
I would have paid $1,000 for a burger and fries after that show.
Yeah, I gotta. What'd you get?
I don't even know how much it was.
What'd you get in between prejudging and finals?
Burger and fries.
I got a steak and sweet potato.
Oh, funny story with that is, so me and Keitra were at the hotel, and Nathan says, you know, your flight is aboard, go get a burger and fries. Yeah. You need some sodium, carbs, fat, all that. So we went there, and there was an in-hotel restaurant, and so the waitress came up and asked, and I forgot what it was, but I needed like ice, and she didn't like, what was it? It was like rice, I think I asked her for, but my accent is so bad that I had to, I say Ross. It said rice. So whatever it was, I think it was like ice, but I said os.
Yeah.
And
I think you told me that.
And she just looked at me funny, and Keitra like let it go. Like she's like, I think she was just wanting to see how far I took it. And I was like, os. And she's like, huh? Like, what?
That's funny.
I'm like, ice. And she's like, oh, ice. And I'm like, yeah.
Ice.
That's what I've been saying for 5 minutes.
That's what it is, ice.
And she had to help me like translate my like hick accent for the lady to understand.
Yeah, it's solid. I don't know. I can't really even remember what I was craving that much last prep.
I think you don't know where to begin because you haven't had all kinds of food anymore.
I always crave like sandwiches, during prep.
Like refreshing sandwiches?
Like Jersey Mike's?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
every single
tomatoes
day. Every single day, just driving past that fucking place, to cardio, from cardio, to the gym, home from the gym, and then you're just like, that's a sandwich that is so good.
Yeah, like the big one that they have.
Like a true, like good
foot
sandwich.
I don't know, man. Probably just the typical foods too, like burger and ice cream and cookies and any kind of sweets. I was crazy about because I'm a fat kid. So
I'm not crazy about the sweets, but
I haven't been so much like the last year or so. But before, pretty much after 6 months after the show, after that point, I was pretty much like, I'm good. I can do without cookies.
Yeah, cookies are my weakness, but I'm not someone that could like eat like a pint of ice cream.
I can eat a half gallon of ice cream with no problem.
Oh no,
that's always been me. And
no.
Yeah, my family's like that too. So
no.
The only difference is I diet for long periods of time between eating that half gallon of ice cream.
Yeah. All right, we gonna cover anything else?
So we got the Tampa, we got the future shows, we got the questions.
Let's talk about the Olympia. I mean, geez.
The main topic.
The Heath is coming back.
Heath is bringing the heat.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'd say he wins. Most likely.
Unless something happened in that time frame of him being off, if he tore a
I
quad
have a really good feeling that he's going to come in looking fresh. And like he's been chilling for about 2 years, and it's going to be lights out, and no one's touching him.
Well, his stories all have like fried foods, and he's been like loose on the diet and enjoying his life and all that. And I think that's going to reflect on.
He's going to look really good.
He's going to have a break, and then he's going to go back on a strict meal plan, and he's going to get peeled.
I bet the stomach's in check.
And from the pictures I saw recently, they are recently because he had his new shirt.
Yeah,
he had his new shirt and the mask on, so it's pretty recent, and he was big. So
yeah,
and in semi good shape. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be lights out. I think. I don't think anyone's touching him. It's gonna be a fight for 2nd to 15th.
Yeah, well, if there's 15 people there.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's looking more like maybe not even 10 people.
Think Hunter gets top 6?
Hunter will get first call out, I think, unless all these guys from around the country.
All right, so how much heavier do you think he can be?
8 to 10 pounds. I don't know because he's going to be taller.
Yeah, I think he will be too.
So he'll be a solid 5 to 7 pounds on stage heavier.
It's all going to be up here.
Yeah. I mean, he put on 25 pounds in what, a year and a half. So.
Yeah, and all that wasn't even truly.
And it was
training for it.
Yeah, it was new muscle. It wasn't like muscle memory by any means. It was all new muscle.
So who are we? All right, who do we know will be there? Phil.
I'll pull up the
Phil, Hunter,
list.
Dexter. Is Regan qualified? No. Who won that show that Regan did last year? At the end of last year.
Juan Morel.
Juan's
gonna be in it.
Why am I going blank?
I'm trying to pull up a list.
Huh. Brandon. Jesus.
The winner.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Brandon Curry.
Bonac, yeah.
William Bonac, Hottie Shupin, Dexter Jackson, Rolly Winkler, Phil Heath, Cedric McMillan, Nathan Diasha, Juan Morel,
Flex
Lewis, Hunter Labrada. So we've got, what is this, 11 guys, and
that shows how much I pay attention to all the
5 are from the U.S.
Oh God.
Yeah. So you got Netherlands, Iran, UK, the majority of the other ones. So it's really a half and half on the list. And
Lucas Oswaldil's.
Regan, Big Ramy, and Lucas Oswaldil is in the top point standings, top 3.
Yeah.
Which all these guys can qualify, and because they're all within a couple points of each other.
Ian will probably be there. Sergio might be there.
Ian's 5th on the point list.
Yeah.
And some of these guys I've never even seen, and they're within 3 points of Ian. So just because they've done one show that they've got points. James has got 1 point.
About to win a show, so he'll be there.
So we've got 11 guys qualified, in which all of them on the list is supposed to be there, because Phil was qualified obviously from being 7-time Mr. Olympia, but he's actually going to be there now. So
yeah.
So who do you got? You got Phil winning.
Phil winning.
I've got Brandon 2nd.
Okay.
Let's just assume everybody is going to be there on the list. And
everybody on the list?
Everybody on this list and the top, we'll say the top 3 guys. So everyone's showing here who.
Oh, God.
So, just give me your top 6.
Oh, all right, Phil. I hate doing this type of shit.
I can tell you mine. Mine's easy.
Phil, Brandon, Bonac. Is that 3?
That's 3. Yeah.
3.
So who wins, Flex Lewis or Hottie?
Flex.
So Flex 4 or Dexter 4?
I say Flex beats Dexter, then Dexter. Oh, that's so hard.
That's a hard call out, man.
That is hard.
I'm gonna say Phil, Brandon. It'll be between Bonac and Flex. It'll be between Dexter and Hottie.
I think Flex beats Bonac, and then Bonac beats Dexter. Dexter still's in 5th.
I think Rolly will be outside the top 6.
Yeah.
He's got everything he needs, but he can't get that final.
What about Rami though?
Rami's got Chad. I mean, so he looked pretty.
Rami's gonna come in better, and he's gonna get
third.
He's gonna. All these people are just pushing Dexter back.
And we thought that.
In my opinion, I think they're pushing Dexter back just because. I mean, if Rami's peeled, if Rami is 10 to 20% better than he was with the Arnold, he gets top 5.
Okay, so let's play devil's advocate here. Only U.S. and Canada can show, because we know that Canada is in the North America. It can come over, but from the UK,
okay. Sorry, Regan, but you're not getting.
Well, Regan might have to be in top 6 if there's only 6 guys.
Okay, Phil, Brandon.
So Phil, Brandon.
Phil, Brandon, Flex. Dexter.
Cedric. We forgot about Cedric. Well, it depends.
He never.
At the Olympia, maybe not so much, but
Flex beats. Flex is in
the U.S. even though he's UK from UK.
Flex in 3rd then.
Mm-hmm.
And then.
So Phil, Brandon, Flex.
Yep.
Dexter, Cedric.
Yeah.
Hunter. Hunter will beat Cedric.
I think he will. I think he can.
So, yeah.
What if he beats Dexter?
I don't know, man. He's crisp. Dexter is.
I know. It'll be interesting.
I think his size he'll definitely be bigger, but he won't be more peeled because of muscle maturity.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Hunter would have a problem with coming in 6th.
His first Olympia, call out. I think
he
6 is a win.
He said it in a video the other day. He was just like, I'm not expecting to go in there and win. No one wins their first Olympia.
Do you think it's like what they said about Brandon? Like he won the year that Phil wasn't there and Sean wasn't there and all this. Do you think that it'll tarnish Hunter getting first call out if he does, just because the way it might be that he might be the only guy from the U.S. in the top 6 anyway?
Yeah, but I think within the next 5 years he's still going to prove that he belongs there anyway. So
I think that'll definitely be a thing, but
it's not going to matter.
But do you think he'll be like, there were only 6 people from the U.S. and I got 6th, so of course I mean,
he's 28.
Yeah.
So
Hunter beats Juan Morel?
Yep. I don't like Juan Morel's physique at all. That's just my opinion.
I think he's got a freaky metabolism and appetite, but I think that's kind of all that he's got.
Yeah. I mean, he's big.
He's big. He looks tall on stage. I don't know how tall he actually is.
None of his shots impress me though, and I don't know why.
His back is not detailed enough.
It's another thing. Nothing flows.
He gets lean. He is a mirror picture guy.
Nothing flows.
He's a bubbly, like, I'm taking a mirror selfie. I look great in this, but when you come out on stage,
it's just when you put some people next to other people, it's just like it all goes away.
I think there's different calibers of pros.
Yeah.
I mean, some guys look great and turn pro, but then some guys could turn pro natural at 16 years old. So, like Phil Heath.
You're still hooping.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, I'm excited for it now, especially Phil's definitely brought some excitement to it.
So we're gonna say that depending on who can make it,
it'll help Brandon's case for last year if he really pushes Phil this year.
How do you think that'll be? Since we automatically assume they're top 2, who what determines who wins? Like if Phil comes in,
I don't think there's any chance in hell that Brandon can
so let's play this game here. So,
and that's not me taking anything away from Brandon. I think Brandon's sick looking.
Brandon's in the 270s right now. Phil's probably in the 270s right now. Phil is more complete, but Phil had abdominal problems before. Brandon is a lot tighter in the waist. Brandon doesn't have the separation Phil does. Brandon doesn't bring the conditioning Phil does.
And Phil's legs dwarf.
His legs are good, but when you're not consistent and not really pushing things as a pro, and then all of a sudden you do, and then you like transform a lot. I mean, Brandon used to be a 212 competitor, and he was debating on in the early, say 2010, 2011, he was debating on going back down to 212 because, and then now he's 270. So
208, baby.
So what chance in hell could Brandon have?
I don't think he has a single chance to win.
So Phil comes in, his midsection blown out.
If everyone is at their absolute best, no one is touching Phil.
Yeah, but that never happens. Never in history has everybody been in perfect.
No, but I'm just saying, like, say everyone is perfect, Phil still blows everyone out of the water.
I mean, I think Phil has a 99.9% chance of winning 10 Olympias.
Yeah, no, he's absurd. Like, it's really crazy the difference in looks that he has. Like, it's insane.
But he's not progressed in 5 years.
He doesn't need to. Yeah, true. He doesn't need to.
But in 2011, if he looked like he did in 2011, he probably could have not put on a single pound of muscle in 110 Olympics.
He probably shouldn't have. Yeah.
Yeah. So Brandon went from 212-ish to 250 on stage last year?
I have no idea.
So he's put on a good 40 to 50 pounds of tissue.
Yeah.
So, and that was in a short time. That was in, 2-3 years?
Yeah, he just got real popular last year at the Arnold. That's what.
So really, he won the Arnold, he won the Olympia. He just had a full off season. He had the ability to train because he owns a gym.
I wouldn't say he has a full off season, just because of like, I feel like he goes to Kuwait for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's because
of the obvious. But
yeah. So a lot of people said they don't. I don't want to say he's not a good bodybuilder. He's not here. He's a distracted bodybuilder, but he does better in Kuwait. Obviously,
he has several kids. I mean, it's obviously hard, and he mentioned that in videos that it's hard to be like full-time dad and full-time Mr. Olympia.
Yeah. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see what he looks like. I know he was just down in Tampa. He trained with hypertrophy coach and all them. I mean, he's still a freak. He's humongous, and he's not going to get out of the top 3. Like, he's not.
Can Flex beat Brandon?
Yeah, I think.
How do you think Flex is going to look next to guys that are 250 on stage?
I saw. I've
seen a recent picture of him and Brandeo.
I think Flex
big, but
is so complete, and he's not going to be off. That he's not out of the top 5.
No, I don't think he'll be.
He looks 20 pounds bigger than he is at all times.
I think he'll be 2 to 4.
Yeah, I think he can. I think he can beat Brandon. I don't know if he can beat Brandon.
I don't think he can beat Phil.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
If Phil wasn't there, we'd be talking about Brandon and him. I think, because I think he's probably Bonac looks great, but I think he's more consistent and definitely more crisp than Bonac.
And Bonac's legs were down a little bit.
Yeah, he has a leg that's down
because he has a knee that has an issue, and he's coaching himself. I'm pretty sure still.
And he has a second eye, which tells him when he's,
Yeah.
That's always good to have, but it's also nice to have someone that says, eat this, do this, and then you don't have to think about it when you're starving.
Yeah. So the Olympia it'll be really, I can't wait to see Flex. And Phil, jeez. But yeah.
I think our top 3 will be Phil, Brandon, and Flex.
I think so too.
And what if Sean jumps in that?
He's up in there too. Then I think he pushes Brandon out.
I think so. I think it'd be Phil. I think it'd be Phil and Sean again if it happens like that.
And then what if Flex beats Brandon? Brandon goes to 4th after a first place.
Winning the Olympia.
That would suck.
But Brandon did win the Olympia without all 3 of those guys.
I know, but how shitty would that feel? That's just like damn. Like,
I got beat by a 212 guy, but then it's like, that's Flex Lewis, so it's not just a 212 guy. It ain't like,
No. So, no, it should be interesting, though.
As far as the other divisions, we don't really, we follow them, but we don't follow them like.
I mean, if Derek comes in peeled, he's going to win 212.
Which he could have for the last.
George Peterson's going to be pushing people for 212 for sure.
It'll be him and Derek.
Kamal looks really good. Aceto posted a picture of him today, so he's going to be.
He's strictly conditioning, though. He doesn't have very good flow.
But he's going to be pushing to get it again. So Derek better bring it. I mean, he's only got. There's no way he can be 212.
His structure's perfect. He's got great symmetry, but he doesn't have that
crisp hard.
If he come in as hard as Flex, ugh.
Yeah, it'd be nasty.
Jesus.